As a travel vlogger and YouTube creator, one of the most important pieces of gear in my camera bag is a wireless microphone system. And you all know that I've tested a lot of them here on this channel. The latest one that's come my way is the Hollyland Lark Max. It's quite similar to the RØDE Wireless Pro and the original DJI microphone, but it has 4 features that make it better than both of these mic systems, and one feature that I'm not so crazy about. So in this video, I'll talk about it with sample audio from all 3 wireless microphones so you can hear the difference between them. Before I get started, 3 things. First, Hollyland sent this out for me to test, but they did not pay me to say anything. Neither did RØDE or DJI. This video is not sponsored by a microphone company, but it is sponsored by Musen Audio, and you'll hear more about them later on in this video. Second, if you don't know what a wireless microphone system is, it consists of a receiver which attaches to your camera, cell phone, or a computer, and a transmitter, or 2, that has a built-in microphone or the option to plug in a wired lavalier microphone. The transmitters also have clips to attach to a shirt or magnets for a more subtle attachment. But the main advantage is that you can be far away from your camera or the receiver and still have your audio be picked up. I could even have my back to the camera, but you should still be able to hear my voice pretty clearly. And third, before I start talking about differences, here are some features that all 3 mic systems have in common. They can all record mono or stereo audio. They each have a transmission range of around 250 meters. RØDE is slightly further at 260 meters. They can also all record safety audio tracks, and they have onboard recording features. Both the DJI and Hollyland transmitters have about 8 gigabytes of onboard storage, whereas the RØDE transmitters each have 32 gigabytes. As you'll come to see, the competition is really between the Hollyland and the DJI here. Now you may also be aware of the smaller and cheaper, roughly $100 Hollyland Lark M1 mic system. I don't have it here to test because I think that mic system isn't quite comparable to these microphone systems, because when it comes to features, the Lark Max is better because it includes a 3.5mm microphone jack on each transmitter. It also has a touchscreen display on the receiver, a battery life percentage indicator, and it does internal recording with onboard storage. Plus it comes with USB-C and Lightning adapters. The Hollyland Lark M1 doesn't have any of these features. Okay, let's get back to Hollyland versus DJI versus RØDE and talk about differences, starting with the price. The Hollyland Lark Max came out in June 2023, so it's the newest wireless microphone system compared to RØDE and DJI. There are 2 versions. There's the Solo, which comes with 1 transmitter and costs $159 US, or the Duo, which costs $249 US, which is actually what the 2 transmitter version of the DJI microphone system is going for right now. The RØDE is quite a bit more expensive at $399 US, but there are a few valid reasons for that. The RØDE comes with 2 wired lav mics, which cost upwards of $80 each, and the RØDE has pro settings, like 32-bit float and timecode, both of which are missing on the Hollyland and the DJI mic. So the Hollyland's most direct competitor is truly the DJI microphone, but I'll still do a sound comparison between all 3 of these microphones later on in this video. Now, like the DJI mic and the RØDE, the Hollyland comes with a charging case, and here's where unique feature number 1 comes into play. The charging case has its own zippered protective case, and this case has a mesh pocket where all of your necessary cables and wind muffs for the transmitters can be stored. It does make the overall footprint of the Hollyland much larger and heavier, but it also ensures that the complete mic set is protected. Now the RØDE comes with 2 separate pouches, one for the mic system and the other for the accessories. And the DJI sort of has everything stuffed into the charging case, but not really, because you can't shut the case with the windscreens attached to the transmitters, and you also can't fit your 3.5mm microphone jack in the case. So the Hollyland's case for the charging case is, in my opinion, the most comprehensive. By the way, you might think that Hollyland is knocking off DJI with the charging case and the whole wireless microphone system, but Hollyland's first wireless microphone system, the Lark 150, actually came out in December 2020, whereas the DJI microphone came out in spring 2022, so Hollyland is actually the original here. Next, I want to test audio quality, especially because of this second unique feature on the Hollyland, which is environmental noise cancelling, or ENC. Now, I have to admit, I'm a little wary of using noise canceling within a mic system because sometimes it can be a little too heavy-handed, and this is something you can actually add in post-production if you really feel like it's necessary. But before I tell you about the other two unique features of the Hollyland and the one con, let's head outside and do an audio test. This is a sound test with the Hollyland using the built-in microphone on the transmitter. This is what it sounds like without the ENC or the environmental noise reduction. But let's go ahead and turn it on and hear the difference. All right, now we've turned on the ENC or the noise reduction, and this is what it sounds like if we are filming a video with it. So I've got some waves kind of splashing to my right, got some people walking by, so I'd be really curious to hear the difference between the two audio clips.
And while we're on the subject of microphones, there is also the topic of the output of sound, which is what the speaker is for. And here we have one from Museum Audio. This is a company from California which makes very stylish speakers, and a lot of them are portable and made for the outdoors, like this one, which is the Mini Wild. And it does look like it is for the outdoors. It's actually made to look a lot like a military equipment, maybe a radio, maybe even a grenade, exactly the way it fits in your hand. I was actually really surprised by how good this thing sounds for how small it is. You saw me just take it out of a pocket. It's that small, but then when you turn it on, you actually are a little bit blown away because it sounds very, very good.
Well, that should be plenty of time for the two mics to get to know each other. And here we have it, the 3 micro tiers.
I am very impressed by that in particular, but also the style of it and the build of it. The whole thing feels like metal to the touch. I like all the designs of this company. I would like to have many of their products simply because of the way they look. But this one is probably the hottest seller, and it comes at a really favorable price, regularly $110. And then you can take it hiking, you can take it camping, and it doubles as a flashlight. So if you're out in the forest, it can be at your campsite, you can be playing a fairy tale for your kid or something, and then you can get up and illuminate with the flashlight feature. It can survive a rainfall. It is weather resistant to some degree, though it should not truly be thrown into water. And there's so much in such a little package. I am very pleased with it.
All right, back to the Hollyland. So in terms of size and weight, the Hollyland has the biggest and heaviest charging case, receiver, and transmitters. They're still small and lightweight, just not quite as small and lightweight as the DJI and the RØDE. But here's where that next unique feature comes in. The Hollyland receiver is a bit chunkier because it has a menu dial, in addition to the touchscreen menu. Now, this can be super handy if you have chunky fingers that struggle with touchscreens, or you're wearing gloves. There's simply more precision using a button or a dial to navigate a menu. Meanwhile, the DJI receiver just has a touchscreen menu. I can't tell you how often I've ended up swiping past the feature that I'm looking for. And the RØDE doesn't have a touchscreen menu at all. You have to use the physical buttons to navigate the menu and connect the whole unit to a phone or computer app to fully access all of the settings. So in my opinion, Hollyland offers the most flexible menu system. I also really like elements of the Hollyland design. I still think DJI has a nicer look to the receivers and the transmitters, but Hollyland comes in second for looks. I really like the textured matte coating on the Hollyland much more than the glossy finish on the RØDE units, which are more prone to picking up fingerprints, dust, and scratches. The final unique feature of the Hollyland is in the battery life. The Hollyland receiver lasts for 9 hours when it's fully charged, and the transmitters last for 7.5 hours each. That edges out the RØDE, which is 7 hours for the transmitters and the receiver, and the DJI, which has a 5-hour battery on the receiver and 5.5 hours on each transmitter. Meanwhile, the charging cases all offer similar battery life boosts of about 14 or 15 hours. Now, to wrap things up, let me tell you about the one downside of the Hollyland Lark Max that I've found so far: the transmitter windscreen attachment. I appreciate that it's included, but the attachment point is made of this soft rubber material that seems really easy to rip. It's also quite difficult to figure out which direction to attach the windscreen, because if you place it the wrong way, the hold is rather flimsy and it could fall off. I actually did this the first few times I used the transmitter, and I thought it was a really faulty windscreen attachment, but it turns out I was just putting it on the wrong way. So there's definitely some room for improvement here. So this was an introduction to the Hollyland Lark Max Duo and the 4 reasons to choose it over the RØDE Wireless Pro and the original DJI microphone. Now, to be perfectly honest, all three of these mic systems are really good in their own ways, and I don't think that you can go wrong with any of them. But Hollyland definitely has some standout features. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.